everything R&B. Now, I am super excited to have on the line somebody that's got probably already one of the most requested R&B EPs of the year. The powerhouse. We love her, Miss Jazmine Sullivan. What's going on, Jazmine?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent, man. Hotels is an absolute beast. Well, we want to say congratulations to you on that. So, first and foremost,
thank you.
Did you have any idea that it'd have this kind of impact when you was putting it out, this EP?
Not at all. I don't think any artist knows, how things are going to be received. It started out very personal for me. With the interludes and talking to my friends and my family and stuff like that. But I had no idea it would be, and it would have such a cultural impact. But I'm really, really happy and excited that it does.
What do you put that down to, the fact that it's connecting so well with people? What do you think that is?
I think that there's just a lot of truth being spoken and a lot of things that aren't necessarily talked about, especially from women and especially from Black women in our point of view. I think that we're in a time where women want to be heard. They know they deserve to be heard and to tell their stories. And I feel like there's a cultural shift where women are kind of taking up space and that's exactly what this project does. It takes up space and it tells you exactly how we feel, unashamed. And I just think that's where people are.
Was there a certain level of bravery in putting out a project like this? Or was it nothing? Was it light work for you?
No. It wasn't light work. It definitely takes some bravery to put yourself out there in this way. For me, I feel like the bravest people on the project were my friends and family who told their tales and told their stories, because I always say it's one thing to talk to your girlfriends in private about the stuff that you're going through and experiencing, but it's another thing to put it out there for people to tear apart, rip apart, and judge you about. And so I feel like they were the bravest in coming forward and telling their stories.
What was that conversation like when you had to hit up some of your family members and were like, look, I'm putting out an EP. I just want you guys to tell your story.
It was nerve-wracking, because like I said, it's one thing to talk about it in private. It's another thing to put it on the internet, especially the way people are today. I feel like people judge so easily. And that's kind of what I wanted to get away from in general with the project, is just to take the judgment away from each person and even from yourself, and give yourself grace and give others grace. So it was definitely hard for me to be like, yo, can you tell your business on this? But they were lovely because they trust me and they know I would never put them out there in a way that would make them look bad, because I love them so much. And so it all worked out.
You know what, like, concept projects don't always work. It is quite brave to be able to put out a concept project. Like what exactly was your mindset going into this, especially since we hadn't had a project from Jazmine Sullivan in a while? Were you scared to put out a project that had a concept behind it?
No, it actually took the pressure off. After reality show, I really didn't know like what I wanted the album to sound like. And so this kind of made it easier for me as far as like thinking and putting pieces of a project together. So it definitely made it easier for me.
And what was the hiatus behind after reality show? We've been waiting. We love Jazmine Sullivan and we wanted new music. What was the reason for the length of time before we got this new project?
I don't know. It really wasn't a reason. I just am an advocate for taking a break when you feel like you need it and not overdoing things for yourself, and just knowing your limits. So it really wasn't a big reason, but I did not mean for it to be a 6-year break like that. I don't know where time went. It just went somewhere. But yeah, it wasn't a reason.
And during that 6 years, I mean, because I know social media can be rough, and especially like the fans of you and Jazmine and of R&B, like we are very vocal about the artists that we want and what music we need. Were they getting on to you, and were you hearing it, and was that affecting you at all?
They were getting on to me, but it was always in a respectful way. Nobody was coming at me or anything. They just was like, girl, come on, when you coming back out? And I heard them, of course. But you know, you got to go through your own process. And that's kind of what I went through. And you know, I guess I'm glad that I did take that time off. I obviously needed it and needed to learn some things and to grow. And definitely now I'm at a place where I wouldn't take that long again, because time means something different for me after going through COVID and after other personal things that I've dealt with in my life over the last year and a half. I just don't want to waste as much time as I did, so I will be more on it. But those are lessons that you have to learn in life, and sometimes you need time to learn it.
Did it make you realize how much you missed putting out music and having like music out there, putting this project out and just hearing the response for it?
Definitely. I mean, I love the fact that people are connecting with my music. I've always loved that, but it just feels different this time. Just how people are receiving it. And I just really accredit that to everything that everybody is going through. I feel like me and my friends are like, we've grown up together. So I feel like the things that I'm learning and I'm discovering, they're also learning and discovering too. And I feel like that's the connection with us.
I've heard that you're adamant that you don't want to call this project an album, and you're saying this is not the album, this is not the album. Why are you so against people calling it that?
Oh, well, when I first started talking, you know, behind the scenes with label people about making the project, I didn't know what I wanted it to sound like, and I just wasn't super confident in myself. I was going through like writer's block. I was going through singer's block. Like I couldn't even do what I normally do, which was sing. So I wasn't super confident, and I wasn't even confident making the project. Like it wasn't a time where I was like, "Ooh, this shit, everybody gonna love it." Like I never had that moment. And then I also don't think that it's enough songs to kind of call an album.
Right.
But after seeing the response that it's getting and what it's meaning to people, I actually don't care what y'all call it.
We will call it an album, maybe ish. We call it an album ish. I love I think all the features are perfect on it. I mean, this must be like different for you, like 2008 when you dropped, and now I can imagine you can pick up the phone for any artist and they will get on your project. How did you pick who you wanted to work with for this project?
Well, that's not true. I didn't feel like that, and I never feel like I can just make a phone call and people will, you know, automatically want to be a part of it. I'm always nervous because I know how long of breaks I take, and I don't know, because I'm not like, my ear is not to the streets as much as people would think. I don't know what my effect is, and I don't know what a lot of people think of me personally. So every call that I made, I was nervous, except for Anderson, because we have known each other for a little bit now, and I did some stuff on his project. And we chilled together, ate, and you know, stuff like that. But I was nervous about like contacting her and Ari, even though Ari was like super, super cool. Like Ari actually pulled up to my house. So, but everything was very, very easy. Like every skepticism that I had about even making the call and not knowing how they would respond, they like totally just responded in such a way where I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. Everything is meant to happen. But for those artists, I love them. Like that's simply, I just think they're amazing. So
I love both those records with her and Ari Lennox, and I think those are two artists are definitely like at the forefront of this kind of new R&B renaissance. Like, how are you feeling about the state of R&B today?
I think it's in a good place. I think we have different people that represent R&B in their way, and I can't ask for anything more except for people being authentic to who they are. And I love it. Like, and I love that there's so many women out that are dope and that are doing dope things. And I'm happy with R&B.
It's funny that you say you don't have your ear to the street. You don't necessarily know how people feel about you. Like whenever I hear interviews or new singers or even just conversations about R&B, your name comes up. People talk about this voice from Jazmine Sullivan. So I just want to know, is any of that filtering to you? Do you ever get to hear the way that you are celebrated within your scene and the culture?
I mean, sometimes, but I like I said, I don't even listen to a lot of music when I'm out on breaks and doing my thing and taking, time to be regular. I'm really just, going through life mad regular. So I'm not even looking for or looking to hear anything about myself or stuff like that. So I really don't be knowing.
Nah, you don't at all. They love you.
I mean,
Jazmine.
I'm hearing now because I have to be like active and on the internet and stuff like that. And like, speaking to her and speaking to Ari and, hearing them say it, but I don't look for that. Like, I'm not looking for that. And a lot of it is, like, I want the love for myself to come in from inward. And so I don't really look to hear it from a lot of people. And I feel like growing up singing and having a big voice early, like you heard praises and stuff like that so much, but it has to come from within. And so I'm always focused on like it coming from inward and loving myself enough and not even needing the validation from anybody else.
How did you get past that era of having a writer's block? Because I know that's a real thing, especially for people that are like at the level that you're at, and it can be worrying. It's how you make your money. It's what you do. It's what you're here for. So to not be able to convey your art, was that a worrying time for you?
It was horrible. I was in tears a lot of nights, just not knowing when it would let up, knowing that really was my only form of communication. Like I felt like everything was blocked because I couldn't write it down and express myself in that way. And I just prayed a lot and I worked through it. Like I couldn't stop because I was already in the process. So I couldn't stop. So I just did what I could when I could. So if it was just a verse and a hook at one point and I had to kind of put it away, that's what I had to do and then come back to it later. But it was difficult. Like the process to put this together in the space that I was in was really, really hard. And that's another reason why I'm so grateful for how it's being received. And another reason why that I know that it really wasn't even in my hands. Like it was out of my hands. Like I feel like God wanted, even though the project is called Hotels, and that's not, that ain't godly. But I feel like what it's doing and what it's meaning to women and people in general, I feel like that was above me.
And during that time, like, what just made you stop? Okay, I can't write records. What made you stop just going to pick up 4 records from over here and 4 records from over here, and I could get linking up with a couple songwriters and putting out a project? I can't write, so maybe some people should write for me. What made you stop doing that? What is it? What was the need to want to write songs yourself?
Man, that's how I like live. That's how I express myself. That means everything to me. And whether I'm the best songwriter.
No. We lost you.
I'm sorry.
We're back now. There you go.
Yeah, whether I'm the best songwriter or not, I feel like that's my way of expressing my art and giving and receiving from being able to do that. So, but I did actually take like a week. I went to LA and I was like, let me try to work with some writers or whatever. And I met some dope writers, but we actually didn't come up with anything in that session. But I made some connects with some people that I do want to work with in the future. But like writing for me is my form of expression. I have to do it.
I'm like, obviously I listen to everything R&B related, and there was a little while, like I want to say about maybe 2-3 years ago, there was talks of an EP or a project with yourself, Brandy, and Fantasia. How true was that?
It was supposed to be a song.
Oh, one song.
It started on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we're all fans of each other. So we all want to do it. So it's just about at this point it being the right song, which could come at any moment. But I think that all of us love each other enough to when the song comes and when the moment comes, we will all definitely be on board to do it.
Amazing.
Definitely.
And how frustrating is it that you can't really promote this album in the way that you want to on stage and get out and see the people and hear them singing back to you, singing back the hotels to you?
I know, man. That's the only thing. Now press and stuff, that doesn't bother me being locked away. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't mind doing this at home, and you don't mind the press at home?
And I'm fine with that with the dudes. But like being on stage and hearing the audience is like saving grace for me. Like I love that. It's an energy that you get at that moment that you don't get from anything else. So I'm just hoping that, you know, things get back to normal where I can actually do it and, you know, we could connect in that way.
Awesome. The next album, you said you're not going to take as long to give us some new music. Is it even fair to talk about the new album and when we'll be getting it yet?
It's not fair, no.
It's not fair?
It's not fair, no.
It's on your mind, surely.
Do you
know, I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to be unfair to Jazmine.
What I'm gonna say is I'm gonna have to work on not feeling the pressure now for the actual album, because I honestly didn't think that the EP would do what it's doing and open up the doors that it's opening up. So I just want to stay in a good place, calm place musically, so that I'm open enough to like create.
Are you surprised by men's reaction to Hotels? And what are you hearing from the guys about it?
I'm hearing different things. There are some men I feel like who are resistant to it based off of the title, and like their male instinct is to be like, you know, you promoting being a hoe, and that ain't the that ain't good what you doing for women. You making women feel like they should be hoes, and they're simply going off the title and they're not getting deep into the project. And then there are some men that are just like, this is good for us to hear, you know, what women feel and the things maybe that we have done to make them feel this way. And those responses make me happy, because that's all it's about, is like really just hearing and understanding where what each of us are going through, each sex is going through on men's point of view and women's, you know, but we got to listen first and be open enough to hear it. So, you know, like, okay, this is where I'm kind of messing up at, or this is what I need to work on. And
we've been listening to men's Hotels in music for decades.
Baby, and I'm going to be listening forever.
Exactly. Okay? Exactly. So why should it mean any? We absolutely love the project. I mean, it was quite a stupid question, but are we likely to see you in the UK at any time soon? When we're allowed?
When we are allowed, of course. I mean, I'm so excited to come. Like, my last show there was like 9 years ago.
Wow.
And it was, when I say I got so much life from that show, like that really started me and gave me life to like even continue with reality shows, because I did my first show in London. And so I'm looking forward to getting back there and feeling that again.
I didn't know that was your first. I mean, like, that means that,
I was scared. I was scared. I was like scared out my pants to perform, and like London it was like a big hug. So we got so much love over here, and we can't wait to see you when we actually do get to see you. And I mean, no pressure, but we will love an album as well. Okay. We got some cool things coming up with Hotels though, so so I'm a ride Hotels wave, because it's a lot of things in a lot of like different areas that I want to touch on, that I'm being able to touch on with this project. So it may be a minute. I ain't gonna lie.
When you say cool things, is that visuals? Is it easy or difficult to shoot visuals during this time?
Well, I am in talks with Issa Rae. We're actually texting right now about her turning it into a short film or something. We're still trying to figure it out, but like I just feel like Hotels it's so much space for it to go, because it's so open, you know, it's so open for you to go different spaces. So I want to explore that as a creative and see where I can go. And
congratulations on being announced to perform at the Super Bowl.
Thank you. Yeah,
That's
I'm
dope.
Excited. I wasn't even like looking for or expecting that, and I'm really excited and scared and all the emotions that you feel.
Who would have thought the hotels would have opened all of these crazy doors?
Who would have thought? The hotel girl.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And also, I can't wait to see this movie with Issa Rae. She is a genius as well. So that's dope.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Jazmine, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. We love you in the UK, and Hotels is absolutely ringing off right now. So continue to just keep blessing us. We appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
I also did want to quickly say what during this time of lockdown and quarantine, we want to say we've had the artists really bless us with platforms like Versus. Have you been paying attention, and what have you thought of the platform so far?
I think it's cool. I just watched a little bit of Keisha and Ashanti. I think it's cool to like go through artist catalog and you hear songs maybe that you forgot, and you know, you see why that artist is as big as they are. And it brings a certain community. It brings all of us together, like enjoying each other and enjoying the music. And I feel like that's good for this moment. Enjoying music.
Something that you'd consider doing one day?
No, I wouldn't do it.
She's not on it.
I wouldn't do it. No, I don't even think I have enough hits. That's another reason. Like I don't like my music is for like if you love albums and you love songs, you love to hear stuff like that. But like specifically, I feel like that platform is for like the radio songs, the hits and stuff like that. So like I don't know if I have as many. So I probably, and plus I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it, but I like watching them now.
Me too. Jazmine, thank you so much. That was wicked. Really enjoyed it.